DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope that you're all well. And it is Monday. And on Monday, I very often end up doing a few tags. Today will be no exception. Just finished off doing Jasmine's 5-question tag. And now I'm moving on to Dave Nicholson's last Saturday 7-question tag. So, hi there, Dave. And I hope it's going to be a good day and a good week for you. And let's get into those questions. They're pretty heavy questions, I think, this time. So let's go for it. Question 1. When it's all said and done, will you have said more than you've done? I guess that means, are you a big talker and a little doer? Or a big doer and a little talker? Sheesh. I think that if I said I'm going to do something, I'll do it. So it'll be done. So in that sense, have I said more than I've done? Probably not. And yet, usually when I do something, somebody will ask me about it, and then I will usually answer, well, you could still do this, this, and this. I notice that that's one of my characteristics. So, but nevertheless, the question is a way of asking people, are you a big talker and a little doer? And I would say, no. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I will do what I said that I would do. Okay. Question 2. If you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, what would your message be? Repent! Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that question somehow. You know something? It probably would be close to that. In the sense, it would probably, if I had a message, it probably would be very much close to live that golden rule. And basically, if you're living that golden rule, yeah, I guess I could get to the same word, repent. No, live the golden rule, yeah. And the rest will come kind of natural. Okay, question 3. If the average human lifespan was 40 years, how would you live your life differently? Well, first off, if the average human lifespan was 40 years, is that probably like the Middle Ages or something like that? But if the average human lifespan was 40 years, I wouldn't think I would be living longer than 40 years, because that would be average. And I'm a pretty average person, I guess. So I doubt that I would do anything differently, because there'd be no reason to do anything differently, because if you're living the average human life, then you would just be going on as you were. So in that respect, why would you do anything differently? Because you would be in the average, as we are now. So the simple answer to that is no. Now, it was easier than I thought, actually. Question 4. What do we all have in common besides our genes that make us human? Okay. Well, our genes just basically, if you look, we have 98% of the same genes as chimps and so on, but we're sentient beings. Well, they are up to a point. We have souls. I think humans, what was the question again? A common besides our genes. Oh, the capacity to sin. Yeah. The capacity to be evil. Definitely. I am afraid that, and the capacity to be saved somehow. Now, will I get into theology? No, I won't. But I think that is it. We have the capacity to believe. We have the capacity to be mean. We also have the capacity to be good. But you know something? Put humans in a group, and usually it goes south, doesn't it? Yeah. So our capacity to be bad is pretty big. Yeah. And I'm afraid that if you have a group, usually things go, like I say, go south pretty quickly. Well, you just have to look on this planet. There's a bunch of human beings, aren't there? And I don't think things are going all that good, actually. So yeah, so probably that is pretty much a human trait. Well, yeah, you think about it. Are we a bunch of humans on this planet? And if we take that bunch of humans and look at lately, and it's not only lately, look at history in the long run, and you'll see that our capacity to screw things up is pretty good. So that is pretty much of a human trait. Okay, question 5. If you could choose one book as a mandatory read for all high school students, which book would you choose? Well, I'm going to stay in character. I'd say Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. It's a pretty good book. It is. And you know what? I think Dave Nicholson said Animal Farm. That's a pretty good book as well. You know, and it's translated in most languages. It's one of the first books that I read a full book in Spanish, actually. That's a good one as well. You know something? Strangely enough, the two of them go pretty well together. Yeah. So one of those two or those two. They're actually, both of them, pretty small books. So, yeah. That would be it. Yes. Now, question 6. Is that where I am? Yeah. Would you rather have less work or more work you actually enjoy doing? Well, if you put work beside work, definitely I think anybody would say I would, if I enjoy doing it, is it work? You know what I mean. If you enjoy doing something, it doesn't seem like work. You're doing something you enjoy, so you don't mind doing more. But, yeah, there is always a but with 1 T's and 2's, depending on which way you want to look at it. But there always seems to be something in that. I've had, for example, colleagues that were workaholics. They loved their work. They enjoyed their work. And they were always taking on more. Well, they were a pain in the butt, this time with 2 T's, for everybody. Because they were so enjoying their work that they were making ours miserable. No, the reason I'm getting to that, actually, is that if you do enjoy doing your work, that's nice. But if your work becomes your main source of enjoyment, it will be poisoning at the end your own life and probably that of many others. Everything is the same, a good balance. Too much of one is not good, too much of the other isn't any better. So yeah, to answer the question just as it's written, yes, I'd rather have more work than if I enjoy my work, I don't mind doing more. But there has to be balance, because too much of anything will give you indigestion. Yeah, so let me move on to question 7 and last. What is important enough to go to war over? Truth? Truth. If your values, you know, I was almost going to say truth and family, but, you know, we were talking earlier about the golden rule, and it kind of goes all together, you know. If morals that are consistent with the golden rule are being destroyed by invading forces, so in other words, you know, your truth, family, I was almost going to say country. I think country goes into that because it's basically home and family. And that's, it's part of what you decide to live in. But having said that, depending on which country you're in, you might not want to. If I was in certain countries, which I won't name, I probably wouldn't mind if somebody came and took away the dictator. But yeah, truth. I mean, that's one thing. When we start lying to you and creating a situation which is wrong, basically moral code, breaking moral codes, which again, I think I say is truth. So yeah, that's something to go to war over. But you know something? It's hard to say, how do you justify war? And don't get me into talking about just war, because that would be a vlog on itself. But that's probably exactly where we get into quickly if we start talking about war. Not easy to answer, and certainly not as a tag question. So that's it. I think that's all. Thank you very much, Dave. And till next week, I guess. PC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye.